So today we're going to do 10.1, the areas of parallelograms and triangles, but I'm going to start by answering the question of the day, which you guys will find on the 10.1 check-in. So the question is, what did you do over spring break? I went to Arizona to visit my college roommate. So that's what I did. Lots of fun, warm, sunny. But to get to areas of parallelograms and triangles, you can obviously see my video down here in the corner. And then this is my iPad screen. So I'll be writing on this in Notability. And over here, I have a calculator that I'll show you if we need to do calculations. But that's kind of the setup. And let's get started. So the objective is to find the area of parallelograms and triangles, obviously. Here is going to be our first definition. So the area of a triangle, which we've done before, area of a rectangle, is going to be base times height. Here, B is your base, and H is your height, like it's been with all the stuff we've done for geometry this year. The example over here, we're going to say the height is 4 centimeters and the base is 10 centimeters. So then if you're going to find the area, you want to multiply those two together. So 10 times 4 to give you 40 centimeters squared. You want the squared because you have two different centimeters, so centimeters squared. So then if I go down to the next one, area of a triangle, again, we've done this before, this is a review. You have area is 1/2 base times height. B is still your base, H is still your height. And then for the example, we're going to make the base 7 feet and the height 8 feet. So then if we find the area, you do 1/2 of your base, which is 7, and then times your height, which is 8. So this will end up giving you 28 feet squared. So those area of a triangle, area of a rectangle. If we keep going down, area of a parallelogram is our next one. So here the area of a parallelogram is going to be the same as the area of a rectangle, except your base has to be perpendicular to your height. So our formula is still base times height. B is your base, H is your height. But then the important thing here is your base has to be perpendicular to your height. So no matter what, you can't have like this side and this side to get your area. That won't work. It has to be a perpendicular height, so it's going to look like an altitude. So if we do the example over here, let's say, let's switch my color, that the base is 5 meters and the height here is 3.5 meters. Just a note, with this section, you're going to have a lot of decimals and fractions, so don't worry about that if you get those in your homework. So your area will be 3.5 times 5, which will then give you 17.5 meters squared. So those are the definitions, and now I'm going to go through a few examples of just how to find these areas again and different types of things you'll see. So we'll do this example 1 first. We want to find the area of this parallelogram, so you can always label your shape. So here, this is going to be the base, and this is going to be the height. So this right here is not anything, it's just extra information to confuse you, because you want your height right here and your base right here to be perpendicular. So you have to have that 90-degree angle to use those two. So then our area is multiplying them together. So 4 times 5, which will give you 20 inches squared. And then if we go over to the next example, here our height is on the outside. So again, you need this 90-degree angle. So this is going to be our height. And then your base has to always be the one perpendicular. So it's going to be this down here is the base. This again is nothing. It's just to confuse you in case you think that's like your base or your height. So your area is then 3.5 times 2, and this will give you 7 centimeters squared. All right, moving on. So here's something a little bit more complicated. For this, we want to figure out what is DE to the nearest tenth. So we're looking for this right here is what we need to figure out. So to do this, you want to figure out what's the area first. Once you have the area, you can solve backwards to find what's missing. So our first step, we'll do it in purple, is to find the area of our shape. So we can't use this red height right here. That's not going to help us. So I'm going to use this height and this base to figure out the area. So this is a height, this is a base, and we'll do 9 times 13. Will give us an area of 117 inches squared. So then I can switch colors, and we're going to find what this is. So this is going to be a height, and this would be the corresponding base. So we know area is base times height. The base is 9.4, and we don't know what the height is, but we know the area is 117. So now we can solve for the height. You can divide by 9.4, and your height is going to equal 12.45 inches, and that's the same as D. So 2 steps, find your total area first. So over here, when we did in the purple, find this first. And then second, do this and solve for what you're missing. So then a word problem. Here we want to make a triangular sail. So you have a ship, and we want to draw or make this sail out of some sort of fabric, but you need to figure out how much area it is. So find the area of our triangle. Here's going to be our height. Here's our base. So again, area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So you want 1/2 times 13 feet and 4 inches. Here, because this is feet and this is inches, we're going to have to convert this into something else first. So I'm going to move this over so you can see it. But if we do here, we want to find our base. Switch colors, it's a bad color. Loading. The base, we have 13 feet and 4 inches. So I'm going to put everything in terms of feet. So 4 inches, we're going to divide by 12 to get our feet. So do 13 feet plus 4 over 12, which will then give you a base of 13.33 feet. So that's what we're going to be using for our base. You can do the same idea for the height. So if we do the height over here, you want to take 12 plus 2 over 12 will give you 12.17 feet for your height. So those are the 2 numbers we're going to end up using. So I'll move this back over here. So the base was 13.33 and our height was 12.17. So then multiply all of those together and you should end up getting about 82 feet squared. So to make that triangle sail, you need about 82 feet squared of surface area or fabric. Our last example here is going to be finding this compound shape. So we need to find the area of this triangle on top first, and then we'll switch and find the area of this square on the bottom. So first, the area of our triangle. I'm going to just draw a triangle next to it to show what we're doing. Here, this is going to be our height, is the 8, and then the base is this section down here. And this is going to end up being 6 inches because all of our sides of our square are 6. So you want 1/2 times the base of 6 times the height of 8. And then again, if you type this into a calculator, you should end up getting 24 inches squared. And then we're going to go and do this square right here. So here's our height is 6. The base is also going to be 6. So if we do the area of our square, you want 6 times 6 or 36 inches squared. So then your total area, you just want to add those 2 together. So area total is going to be 24 plus 36 for a total answer of 60, move it up a little bit, inches squared. So that's how you find that one. Break it up into different parts and do it all together. And then here, the last thing, this is an optional assignment, so you don't have to do this. What you need to do is the 10.1 Math Excel assignment, which is on Schoology. There is a link online showing you how to do it, but do the Math Excel, not this. If you want extra practice, you can do this, but you don't have to. Let me know if you have questions. You can email me, set up a Zoom call, something like that. All right, bye.